So it's been a while since I made a video on this channel giving you an update on Bronny James, and there has been a reason for this, and I'll touch upon that later on. However, I think the last time we talked about it, Bronny was in the preseason or summer league, struggling trying to find his way, and I was still trying to be a little bit more optimistic and give him as much runway as possible to prove and provide the evidence that this may not be heavily leaning nepotism that we're clearly seeing, rather than him just slowly maturing into the player that we all hoped that one day he would turn out to be. But here we are now at a conclusion that I think many people assumed it was going to happen anyway, and Bronny has found himself playing for the G League team, and yet somehow it still gets even crazier.
For now, sources said the G League plan is for Bronny James to play in only South Bay home games as he shuttles between both leagues and team manages his time on respective rosters.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Bronny James, even though he's not good enough to be in the NBA, has been demoted to the G League, is still getting preferential treatment in the G League by not playing away games. He's not going to be on the road, only playing home games, and then when the Lakers go on the road, apparently, he will be traveling with the Lakers. Let us see it. Let us see it.
Well, I mean, real reason probably so he can keep training at home in the facility.
I don't like the fact that he's not traveling. Like, why does he get special treatment?
Because my daddy, LeBron James, that's one. That's one. That's one. Two,
right.
I'm Bronny James. I'm pretty sure he is the second most famous person on the Lakers themselves. So if I say I don't want to travel,
Bro, this is just ridiculous. Now, even though Gil is being lighthearted and humorous with this, I still applaud the honesty because I am happy we are at this phase now where we can just admit that this is all just preferential treatment, that this is a man that is not good enough to play in the NBA and receive the ability to play at the highest level, not because of his skill, not because how good he is, but simply because who his father is, the name on the back of his jersey. And at the end of the day, regardless of how you, me, or anybody else feels about it, that is nepotism. And the biggest reason why I'm making this update on this video is because it is as clear as day now. Clear as day. And just in case you were wondering, well, what is Bronny doing in the G League? He ain't playing good out there either. So far in 2 outings, he's only averaging 5 points, shooting 21% from the field, 0% from behind the arc, and recording 3 assists, 2.5 rebounds, but turning the ball over 3 times a game. So once more, even at a lower level, Bronny still isn't performing to the level in which that would justify him being not only selected in the NBA, but certainly not receiving a guaranteed contract from an NBA team that is lacking in depth and that could have utilized that last roster spot to add some talent to the roster that the Lakers desperately need. And the only reason why I'm being this animated is because how many media members over the course of this year was gaslighting all of us to sit here and say, if you dare, if you dare ever challenge the idea that Bronny is or isn't an NBA player, you're just hating. McDonald All-American. He didn't play all the games in college. You gotta give him a chance.
Charges, people talking about nepotism.
No,
the NBA is full of nepotism.
Full of it.
The ownership level, front offices, coaching. Yep. I don't want to hear it all of a sudden because of Bronny James's father plays for the Lakers.
The truth of the matter is, bro, when you put everything aside, the brother just wasn't good enough to be in the NBA. It probably would have benefited him a little bit more to spend at least 1 more year in college. And if it meant another year or 2, then so be it. But if you're going to sit here and tell me that he's properly prepared, he's good, look at his resume, just give him the opportunity without acknowledging that the reason why he got this opportunity is because of his father, then you are just being delusional. All this news about, there was a couple of teams that really they were trying to work him out. There's a couple of teams that thought about drafting him.
Right now, Rich Paul's calling teams, don't take Bronny James. He's telling them, do not take him, okay? He's saying, don't take him. If you take him, he's going to Australia. So he has a plan and he has a place.
Bullshit. And even if they were thinking about drafting him, they certainly weren't thinking about giving him a guaranteed contract when they haven't proven a single thing about who Bronny was at that point. The reason why any of that news was breaking, just so people can die down and not kill LeBron too much on a whole nepotism point that was valid.
How are you not going to get him the full, just benefit of actually playing on the court? You're just going to hold him kind of a little bit hostage?
This is the one time I'm like, now y'all ass tripping. Because if your goal is to make Bronny the best player he can be, playing in the G League as much as possible is the way to do it. You don't want to put him on public planes, what do you call it?
He won't be flying.
Flights?
He won't be flying on the commercial
He can't
flights.
be on American Airlines.
Nope.
What? Like, some people have always said it felt like a sideshow. This is the first time I've genuinely felt that way. Because now it feels like the goal is not to have Bronny have a great career. It's like for Bronny to be on the Lakers.
Thank you, Kenny! Because that's what everyone has effectively been feeling. Bro, if you really want Bronny to improve, why would you exclude him from activities that most NBA players or G League players would have to go through? A part of the process of becoming a better player is building camaraderie, chemistry with your teammates. Excluding him from that process, which is traveling, makes absolutely positively no sense if you truly want him to be in the NBA. If it's not about LeBron, if it's not about feeding his ego, if it's not about trying to build up this great story, in which is a sidebar before I continue, the shit that people were saying when they had that moment in the opening night when Bronny went out on the floor, had a great moment with LeBron and the Griffeys was out there, great moment. But this idea that people were supposed to be happy for everything that happened, to me is crazy. Sure, if you are happy, that's great. Me personally, it was a cool moment, right? Great, really, really great moment. But in the same instance, I can also understand why people were turned off by it, because at the end of the day, nepotism has never, ever, 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 especially as a black man, never been something that people have openly been applauding for. Oh my goodness. I have been working at this law firm for 17 years, and I was this close to getting a promotion, but the boss's son finally graduated from college, and he came right in, swooped up, and stole the opportunity that I was working ultra hard for. Oh my goodness. Congratulations. It's going to be great for this to now to be a father and son law firm and giving it to an underqualified 22-year-old when I've been working here for nearly 2 decades. Oh man, just congratulations. Again, why do you think people are going to applaud that? And now all of a sudden, there are random people telling me and everybody else that you gotta be ultra happy and don't you dare criticize it, as if like you niggas was part of the LeBron James family. Nigga, your last name not James. You don't benefit from this. Why are you this happy for it, my nigga? Again, you don't have to hate on it. I get that, but people having a problem for it, nigga, my name ain't James. LeBron ain't my daddy, my uncle, my auntie, my mother, my grandfather. He ain't none of that shit. He not blood related to me, so I don't benefit from it. So why is it that I'm forced to be happy for something that I don't benefit from? That made no sense to me. But like Kenny said, and going back to this, yeah, all of this shit is weird. It's weird. Traveling is a part of being an NBA player, especially with teammates that he's going to be spending most of his time on the floor with. Taking that away from him makes absolutely no sense.
From my understanding, he's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games, that he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was. Obviously, the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it. I've now, on this particular instance, I think that's gone too far.
Oh my goodness. That's actually my first time ever hearing that from Brian Windhorst. When Brian Windhorst was one of the people, if I'm not mistaken, that was adamant on this idea of giving him an opportunity.
I am totally on board with the whole Bronny James thing with the Lakers. I think it was a smart move to draft him. The 55th pick in the draft hits a single-digit percentage of the time. If the Lakers can use the 55th pick on Bronny James and get a more engaged LeBron this year, I don't care if it's a single-digit percentage more engaged LeBron, it's a good investment.
And now is all of a sudden it pivoting back to like, we have to use this to more so benefit LeBron, which to me is crazy. And in all honesty, it all feels like this is more so for LeBron than even Bronny. If you're not making Bronny travel on G League games so he could get better and build chemistry with his teammates, and you just want him around his father, it just feels like this is a more of an accomplishment for LeBron. If Bronny is not good enough to justify being on an NBA court, then really the celebration is LeBron has played in the NBA long enough and is good enough to leverage his skill set to force a franchise to draft his son. That's really what this is. It's all to appease LeBron. So when people sit here and say that, because one of the things that people are sitting there saying, why do people feel like LeBron just has so much control over organizations? Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is another example on top of endless amount of examples to why people feel this way. Personally, again, I'm a realist. I know that star athletes have control over franchises. I'm not thrown aback by it. I'm not shocked by it. But also, I'm not in denial about the reality. It is cool that Bronny got the ability to play with his father, that he lived out his dreams. But the truth of the matter is, because of its nepotism, there is someone else, there's another son out there who has not been able to live out his dreams as well. There's other people who are missing the opportunity, who are more qualified for that opportunity than Bronny is. So yes, the James family gets to rejoice in the fact that their son got to live out, regardless if it's his dreams or his father's dreams. And congratulations to them. But as long as we are all under the understanding that someone else's son has not been able to reach that level either, who is more qualified, you have to accept that as well. And if you're willing to accept everything that comes along with with it, then by all means, you should be able to also accept the criticism as well. And if you're able to accept everything that comes along with it, then we can have a conversation, one that can be very constructive. But until then, bro, many of you all are just in denial. Many of you all are just caping for LeBron and sitting here making it seem as if like we all have to be happy for him and his dreams to be succeeded, as if like it benefits us, and it does not.
The moment that we witnessed last night is not about whether or not Bronny belongs in the NBA or what his future is going to look like in the NBA. This was a moment for the James family, the NBA family, all former players, current players that have sons.
First off, I think nepotism has a different definition because I've been in a lot of rooms where I've seen it to people who aren't worthy of the opportunity. And if you're not worthy of the opportunity, then I'm going to get angry about the opportunity you were afforded, but I understand how the game is played. Don't we need more instances of black nepotism, especially when that person has the disposition and the demeanor of somebody that's worthy of being put in that position? Okay. I watch games. I've seen games where he showed up to games 2.5 hours early, where he stayed after the games working out. Why is that not worthy of the opportunity of being drafted in the second round?
From my understanding, he's only going to play in the South Bay Lakers home games, that he's only going to kind of be a part-time G League player. I don't like that. I don't know whose idea it was. Obviously, the Lakers are fine with it. They're doing it. I've now, on this particular instance, I think that's gone too far.
I just can't help saying this right here, right now. I've held out as long as I could, but I'm just not seeing LeBron James Jr. as an NBA player now or maybe ever.
So that's just my personal opinion on it. Bronny, it is nepotism. It's undeniable at this point, especially now the preferential treatment that he is receiving at a G League level that he is still underwhelming at. It's all nepotism. And anyone who was gaslighting people or being in denial about it just because you wanted to prop up LeBron and shade LeBron from any type of criticism, bro, you're weird because you don't benefit from any of this. It's a reality that we face that we may accept to a certain extent, but we've never congratulated to the extent that many people wanted people to do, while also still being in denial about what it actually was, and it was nepotism. And Bronny was being put in a situation in large part because of who his father was. Now, with that being said though, the reason why I have not made a video on this is because what do y'all want out of me? I'm serious when it comes to this idea that y'all think that I'm going to change my entire channel on just reporting on Bronny James and what he's doing in the G League, video after video after video after video talking about Bronny and his father. Like, my nigga, some of y'all are weird for doing that also though. I get the criticism. It's all valid. But my nigga, your entire channel now is being built off of just criticizing Bronny and LeBron. Like, the awful coach is sitting there just making video after video after video breaking down Bronny footage. And then when I sat there and I'm watching, I'm like, nigga, you don't even know what you're talking about. The amount of channels I've seen that spawned out of nowhere or is starting to just push out video after video after video after video criticizing a story and a talking point that quite frankly has been ran to the ground at this point because of y'all, bro, you're weird. Because at this point, you're not really content creating. You're not really reporting anything. My nigga, you're just hating. You're hating, bro. And that's the reason why I didn't make a video over the last like month or month and a half, because it's like, bro, at the end of the day, like, I knew what it was. I'm not blind. I'm not dumb. I knew it was nepotism. But my nigga, you're not going to get a breakdown from me every single time Bronny goes into the G League and he has a bad play or he has a bad outing. Like, my nigga, I know he not good enough to play in the league. I know he not good enough to play in the G League. I said the nigga need to be in college still. I know this already. I know. But at the end of the day, this is the last time I'm talking about Bronny, in large part because many people keep asking me the same question over and over again. Like, yeah, what are your thoughts on Bronny? You gonna get him about Bronny? Bronny. It's like, my nigga, I don't want to talk about Bronny. I don't. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section below. Hit the notification and subscribe button as well to get updated when I upload on this channel. And until next time, I'll see you all later. Peace.